Discontinued
Gravy.
gravy.
Even
Discontinued gravy.
Goal, to simplify life and make it fun.
Because we've been there.
I mean, we're in our mid-20s.
So we've seen it all.
This is
Discontinued.
Gravy.
Live on location.
We are live on location. How's it go? Like, Krista, this is the first time we've ever been together for a podcast. We're not doing this over Skype. How crazy is that?
I know, it is. I just want to say it's nice to see your face in person.
Like, actually, we say that all the time, but now we're actually together. Like, she's right next to me. You're going to have one panel on the YouTube video.
We are hooked into the same board right now.
Yeah, like, we're actually connected. Anyway, so we're right now live on location. We are at the Christmas Market in North Vancouver at the Shipyards. They were gracious enough to let us come by, record live. We're accepting donations for flood relief in BC. I got to say, so far, it's been a fun day.
Yeah, and it's been very busy, and it's just going to get busier down here.
Yeah.
We've had so many great people coming in and helping donate for flood relief.
Yeah. I mean, it's about noon now, so we've been here about 2 hours. People are coming in. We've had some forceful activity as well.
Yeah.
But, no. So, other than that, no, we've been having fun, and we're just starting our episode now. It's going to be... I'm just so excited to be here.
Yeah, this is going to be part of our series called The Gravy Train. So hopefully we'll be able to do a lot more of on-location shooting and podcasting for our Kurds.
It's really exciting, honestly. But yeah, I guess, anyway, this is still a normal episode like any other. Krista, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great, Nick. I mean, it's a different weather condition being outside to record. I know we've tried doing it before, but I think this is the first successful attempt.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not inside a nice room that's warm. We got a heater, though.
Mm-hmm.
We're layered up. It's just as good. Why would you do that, computer? That's annoying. But
Great start.
it's a good time.
Yeah, it's been fun. It was a group effort to get out here today for Nick and I because neither one of us is an overly organized person, and I know that's weird because I used to be an event manager. So you think Krista would have it all sorted? Well, to a certain degree.
Yeah, to a certain degree, but we finally did it. We finally got it.
Yeah, we forgot like the little things like tape.
Which we got. We eventually got our tape, so that's good.
Anyways, Nick, how are you?
You know, it's actually been a pretty crazy week for me. So I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but the alternator on my car broke or stopped working.
Oh, crap.
And if you don't know what an alternator is, basically the part that connects to the battery that makes the car go so you don't drain battery life.
Mm-hmm. It gets us to start.
Yeah, exactly. So that died. I got stuck in Burnaby. I had to take about 5 jumps just to get home. So I did, and then, wow, Spencer over here, he's doing the donations. We're just going to drop by. I mean, look at all these donations. This is lovely. It's great. Spencer's done a good job, our street teamer today.
Yeah, he's a great street teamer if anyone ever needs him.
He really is. But yeah, so I was looking. I was like, I didn't want to pay for the mechanic to do it. I wanted to see if I could do this myself.
You didn't want BCAA to come and jump you?
Well, they did jump me. I mean, that's free, but to replace the alternator. I didn't want to take it to, OK Tire or something like that. And I said, how easy was it? Just get her. And I looked it up. They said it was one of the easiest things to fix in a car. So I'm like, all right. I looked it up how to do it on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? That does seem easy. I'm going to do it. Ordered the alternator online from Napa Auto Parts. Got it here. And honestly, other than ratchet getting stuck in a fan at one point in time, not too bad. I did it all myself. I was able to replace the alternator. My truck's working fine.
Okay, how long did that take, though?
Well, the ratchet getting stuck took a lot longer than it should. But
Yep, okay.
But
so
hours.
I'd
say cumulative was like, I don't know, like hour, 2 hours, something like that.
Oh, I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but was it worth saving that money? Like, how much money did you really save?
Well, if you think about it, I mean, I don't know, like it's about 100-ish hours, or $100, $150 to, an hour to get it replaced and, labor and the part and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I think I saved at least $200.
Okay. You know what? Worth the time and energy then.
And then, you know what? I can say I can do it. I know how to do it now.
Oh, yeah. Come on, ladies. Nick knows his way around a car.
No, that's not at all. But yeah, okay, so that was one. And then another story happened at the depot, and it was just like there was this customer who's being an absolute dick to one of the cashiers. And I was just sitting there. He wasn't saying anything that like warranted, getting talked back to. But then he's just like, at one point he's just like, he said something like you should go to a doctor to get that checked out. And I was like, nope, that's it. So I turned around and I said, I was like, go to hell. Do not talk to somebody like that. Do not talk to my coworker like that.
Nick's getting his shoulders and elbows up. He's ready to go.
Literally, I was like, do not treat her like that. Get the hell out of my store. And he's
like, your store.
yeah. And he's like, did you know what she said to me? I'm like, she probably did her job. Get the hell out of my store.
Nice. You have their back.
And he's like, and he kept saying that. I'm like, I don't care. She did her job. Get out. He's like, I want to speak to your manager. I'm like, I am the manager. I'm not.
I mean, they don't know that.
They don't know that. And he's like,
your manager might get pissed.
And he tried again. He's like, no, I want to talk to your real manager. I'm like, I'm the real manager. Let's go. So I got outside. And then he starts to pull out his phone. I'm like, don't film this. He's like, what do you mean? What business of that is yours? I'm like, it's not. I just think you're stupid for doing it.
Yeah, if you want to record it.
He's
like
maybe,
I'm just being honest with you.
Exactly. And he's like, maybe I will. And I'm like, great, you do that. And I walked away. And then I guess a cop saw the little disturbance that we were having. So the cop comes by to talk to the guy.
Oh, I mean, they're probably so used to it with all the COVID sensitivity recently.
So the guy's talking to the cop, and he's getting a little on edge. And I'm like, bro, it's a cop. Why are you getting angry here? So anyway, it kind of dissipates, and I think he yelled something, but nothing to warrant getting arrested. So anyway, I go around to the other side of the store because I had to get something from our receiving area outside. And I hear him again. I hear him yelling.
At the cop?
Well, no, I just hear him yelling. I didn't see where he was. So I turn around, and the corner across from the depot at a Shoppers, he's getting arrested by the cop.
What? I wonder what he did. Did he just keep yelling?
I think he just kept talking shit.
Yeah.
And then he got arrested, and I'm like, bro, this all started because I called you an idiot.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's been my week. It's been a pretty entertaining week.
Wow. I mean, it's just go for you.
Honestly, it's been a week, but now we're here. We're on location. You know what? Weather's not half bad today so far. So far, he says.
Well, in all honesty, it's sunny right now. It was supposed to be. We had rain warnings and wind warnings coming in.
No, it was supposed to be a pretty wet day, as we've talked about flooding and everything in BC. It's still been raining. It hasn't been quite as bad, but it's still raining. But so far, we're getting lucky.
Yeah, I'm feeling real good today. But I think one of the things is that it feels real festive in this area.
Yep. So we're at a Christmas market. We got an ice rink that's directly across from us. It's treed. It's lights.
I'm pretty sure it's free if you bring your own skates, so that's pretty awesome.
Can confirm it is free when you bring your own skates. And if you don't have skates, I think it's only $5, if that. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's open all day, but for portions of the day.
It's usually open afternoon to later type of thing. Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, the line is getting huge. I just noticed.
There's quite a lineup in front of this Christmas market. They're all kind of looking at us like, what the hell? Who are these people?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's time to go to our game of the Christmas movies. We're going to find out what the best Christmas movie is for the season. So you can save time.
Is that our whole episode?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it can be.
No. Okay.
I just want to go do it.
Okay, so are we going to get to ask people, or are we giving our own opinions?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know how mobile we are.
We're not at all. We'd have to get our two-team to do that.
Okay, well, let's just go through our list of the movies at the moment.
That I can think of off the top of my head.
But I'm going to also just give a recommendation of a newer Christmas movie that's a good feel of just a newer Christmas movie. It's called Love Hard.
Okay.
It has Nina Dobrev in it. It's kind of like a Carrie Bradshaw situation where she writes about her dating life.
Oh,
and
okay. Weird.
How that goes. She ends up meeting this guy online. He lives in New York. She lives in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Decides to jump on a plane, go meet him. Turns out, not the guy.
Whoa!
But the funny part is that guy exists.
Really?
And he lives in that city and is really good friends with the guy that was pretending to be him.
No way.
So he helps him, or her, fall in love.
That's so funny.
And the story goes on from there, and it's just really cute. I definitely recommend it for a newer Christmas movie.
Oh, fair enough, yeah. I actually, just a quick side note, my mom loves the Hallmark movies and stuff like that. She was watching one last night, and it was about this lady who had a podcast and was, the typical small town coming only for business kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was so funny that it was surrounded by a podcast about a person who does like relationship podcasts.
Oh.
And then she finds a relationship. It was really, really
Wow.
funny. I just kind of laughed. That's a time period wrap. But I'd say newer Christmas movie. It came out last year. Anna Kendrick, the Noel.
Oh, yes.
That was on Disney Plus. That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was a new take on a Christmas movie. But yeah, Anna Kendrick's great. So
yeah, only good things about Anna Kendrick.
For reals, though. But
okay, if you had, I know you haven't seen Love Hard yet, Nick.
I have not. No.
But have you seen Holiday?
No, I also haven't seen that one.
Okay, so that's Emma. What Emma is
Watson?
it?
Stone?
Roberts?
Emma
Roberts. Yes, I believe Emma Roberts, and then I don't know who the other guy's name is, but essentially they become each other's dates to all festive activities. I feel like it's the same realm of Holiday, like it's a little bit of the older Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not exactly the family friendly.
Yeah, no, I get you, yeah. That's fair. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
I'm not too on the newer Christmas movies. I'm very much into the old ones, like
Santa Claus?
Well, those are the movies I've seen, like the Santa Claus, the Grinch, Christmas with the Cranks, National Lampoons. Yeah, that's kind of the movie. So I haven't seen too many of the new ones, but there are some favorite Christmas movies. What's your go-to Christmas movie?
Ooh, so our family Christmas movie, which I have to say right now, is if I had a vote in our poll that we're going to do, it'd be Christmas Vacation.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, eh?
I don't know. It's
a solid movie.
It's a solid movie. It has just the amount of family friendly, but also when you get older, you kind of notice the naughtier parts.
Right.
And also, my dad, it's one of my dad's favorite movies. And you just laugh at something because it makes someone else laugh.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I'd say if I don't watch, I'm not like one of those people that just month of December, just every Christmas movie imaginable I'm watching. I usually watch about one. And the one Christmas movie I will always put on, at least, is live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey and Taylor Momsen and Cindy Lou Who.
I mean, we know how you feel about Taylor Momsen.
Yes, you do. I just think it's so funny that she was Cindy Lou Who and now she's a punk rock singer with a great music. But
I mean, it makes sense, actually.
Yeah, no, it does.
You push to one extreme, you go to the other.
You go to the other, but no, I just like the movie. I think the acting is really well done. They nailed the character type of thing. It's just a solid Christmas movie. It's one I watch every year. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the ones that it came out for our age group. When we were that young, it came out, and everyone our age loved it.
It was 2001, something like that, when that came out. So yeah, exactly, right in our wheelhouse of that age.
Same age as Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, that's a good Christmas movie. I like that one.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. If I have my little list right here. Okay, so, oh, Daddy's Home. Is that a Christmas movie?
Daddy's Home?
Number 2.
Which one is that?
The second one. The one with Jim Carrey and Marky Mark?
Oh, where they come home for Christmas and bullshit? No. I wouldn't say so. Well, I guess, does it take place during Christmas?
Yeah, it does.
Well, then I guess it is
because
a Christmas movie.
Because it's the stepfather coming for Christmas. The second one.
I guess it would be a Christmas movie. It's kind of like how Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Yeah, no, okay, fine. I'll give it that. It's a Christmas movie.
I mean, I watched...
I wouldn't go to it for the holidays, but...
I mean, I think that's one of the ones that you turn on for the person who doesn't want to watch a Christmas movie, but you yourself want to feel a little festive.
Yeah, exactly.
You turn it on.
Exactly. Yeah, fair enough. I get that. Yeah.
Okay, and then okay, if we're going for adult Christmas movies,
okay.
Office Christmas Party. Do you remember that one? Or the one with what's his name? James Franco, and he's really rich, and then the dad comes.
Oh yeah, I know the one. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I know the one.
I feel like it has something to do with Christmas Party. I don't know what, but something.
Some sort of Christmas party.
Oh, Why Him? It's called Why Him.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, it has the guy from Breaking Bad.
That's great. I've never seen Breaking Bad either.
Oh my god. Oh, well, Malcolm in the Middle.
Frankie
dad.
Frankie Muniz?
The dad.
Oh, the dad. All right.
Come on, Nick. You need to keep up on the pop culture. Come on.
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, but there's so many more. But recently, I think I recommended last year Klaus, which is like a...
Oh, yes, you did remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
It was a animated Christmas movie, but the animation was different. It was a new take on animation, a new storytelling on Santa Claus.
Right. Yeah, no, I remember that. I heard that got good reviews. I do remember that getting good reviews, yeah.
Yeah, and I recently watched Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
Oh.
I fell asleep.
Oh, well, that's the sign of a good movie.
Yeah, it has Matthew McConaughey in it, so I thought that I would be all over that.
All right.
Come on, Nick.
Oh, good old Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
All right.
Always good, though, but... I went on Disney Plus recently and
Yeah.
just went to the Christmas section,
Yeah.
and there were some really good ones. Like I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
That kid. He just has that face that you're like, you grew up and did something, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you grew up to be the side character or the best friend in a bunch of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's so fun. It's funny because it's like a 20-year-old that's in college that's has a bet with his dad to come home for Christmas
Right.
to get the Porsche.
Yeah.
He needs to make it home for Christmas, but he's not going to give him any money
Totally.
because he did something dumb with it. So
Yeah.
he has to find his way home to get the Porsche. And it's basically him just hitchhiking his way in a Santa suit. And it's just this young guy doing whatever he can while his girlfriend is mad at him
Yeah.
and doing a road trip with another guy. So he's kind of following behind them, and it's very menacing, but it's like, I don't know, it's, the kid that's troubles, but has good heart.
Yeah, no, exactly. His heart's in the right place, but yeah.
Yeah, I watched another one last weekend. It was about a girl who essentially, it's like Groundhog Day, but a Christmas movie.
Okay.
It's called 12 Days of Christmas.
Okay, yeah.
And it's on Disney Plus if you want to watch it. It was all right. It was definitely a Hallmark Christmas movie where it's like, okay, like kind of original idea, but not.
Right.
And also, I just hated the main girl. She was hung up on her ex-boyfriend from like 2 years ago and was trying to win him back the whole time. But then realized the guy next to her was the one all along.
Ugh,
Like, come
that's
on.
the worst. Like, they all have a formula, those Hallmark movies.
Oh, and they're golden.
Are they, though?
I mean, it works. They make so many for a reason.
I know, but I mean, like, look, think about it. Like, here is a Hallmark Christmas movie. Girl goes back home to the small town after her big business, sends her there for Christmas, sees her family and stuff like that. Then at some point, she's doing the work. She's really busy helping the town Christmas party because, she used to do that as a kid. She's excited to do it again. And then she has all this notebook paper, and then the guy hits her, and she drops it all, and she's like, oh, my God, no. And then he's like, oh, my God, how am I sorry? And then,
mad at him.
You both grab the piece of paper, and the hands touch, and he's like, hey, do you want to go on a date? And then
it's the meet cute.
And
it's
then it's a meet cute, and then they go on their little date thing, and then basically what happens is then the story starts to turn. Oh, but you're going back home. You're going back to your big business town. And then they all have to try to convince her to stay, and then she's like, I don't love you, and then like she's gonna go home, and she's at the airport, but then they're like,
wow, Nick, you're putting a lot of detail into this. Love it.
And then the guy's like, don't go, and then she's like, and then there's the whole thing. The town Christmas party happens. It brings a tear to her eye, and then she's like, she never wants to leave, and then they happily ever after happens.
Always the happily ever after.
And that is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. I mean, they've been shooting a lot recently. I was at a Christmas party this weekend, or on Thursday night, rather. Yeah. And I was in Yaletown, and and all of a sudden I was walking, and then there was the red phone booths, the ones you see in Europe and London specifically.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't always here. Like, I know I haven't been in Vancouver for probably a year, but this specifically is new. So I'm walking around, all of a sudden turn a corner, there's a double-decker bus, a red one, like the ones that you go on
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
in London.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're shooting a movie. They're doing the fake snow, getting it all over the place, and just going ham. And I'm like, I was right. But it was definitely a Hallmark movie. Like, just like you could tell by like who all the characters
Yeah,
were,
exactly,
and like
exactly.
kind of like the setup. When I worked at the golf clubs, always Hallmark movies
Yeah.
love golf clubs because
Oh, yeah.
they can use it for anything. They can make it look like a hotel. They can make it look like a restaurant. They can use it as a golf club.
Well, and you know what the funny thing is about the Hallmark movies? Because, yeah, they all filmed in Canada. It's weird as shit, but they're all filmed in Canada. They all filmed in Vancouver. It's so wild. But what I love is seeing these actors and actresses who are usually Canadian because, you know, they're here. And they're in these Christmas movies. I'm like, wait, I know you from something. And they were in, like, Life with Derek or, you know, some random TV Canadian, like, as Corner Gas, like a really Canadian show that only Canadians would really know.
Yeah, or back in the day, if you used to watch like One Tree Hill or like one of those popular
Yeah.
shows, but not a main character,
Like there,
just
yeah.
someone that you like is recognizable enough that was Canadian.
Well, exactly. Like my mom was watching one a couple weeks ago, and I looked at the main actress. I'm like, I know her. What the hell do I know her from? She was in Scary Movie 1.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh,
That's-
shit, no way. And you know what I mean? Like, they're just these actresses and actors you haven't heard of forever, and all of a sudden they're in a Hallmark movie. And it's
Yeah.
just so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a formula that just keeps working.
It just keeps going and going and going, and it's so funny. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I need to watch that podcasting one though. I feel like we wrote that.
I know, right? Like, I was hearing it, and the one scene I watched was like the guy and the girl were having, you know, that fight, you know, like you can't go home kind of stuff, or, you know, about the love and the boyfriend and stuff like that. And the guy's just like, pretend it's your podcast. So they go back to back, and then, you know, she's like, hey, we're here on the podcast, and here's a caller. And he's like, you know, I have this girl, and then she wants to leave town, but she doesn't, you know, she doesn't seem like she wants to be in a relationship. He's like, well, maybe. And, you know, they're doing the podcast back to back, but not live.
They have a caller on a podcast.
And I was just like, well, what is this? So it was really, I thought it was really funny. If I can get the name for you, I will absolutely send it to you.
Yeah, you need to post that on our socials after, Nick.
It's just too funny.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I don't know. The holidays are just a time of angsty, but also like joy, if that makes sense, because there's so many firsts that happen during the holidays.
Okay. Yeah, well, sure. I mean, obviously a first Christmas if you're, you know, a young child, and or, you know, like a first Christmas with a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh, I got some stories for you, Nick.
oh, first stories with family of that boyfriend or girlfriend. Is
Yeah.
Krista about to spill the tea, put the hot sauce in the gravy?
Ooh. Well, I mean, specifically this year, it's the first Christmas for my my niece and nephew, V&T.
Right.
So it's their first Christmas, which is awesome. But it's
Yeah.
also my first Christmas engaged too.
That's true, actually. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Christmas of many firsts, but it takes you back down memory lane.
Okay. Yeah. Take me through it.
I mean, the funny part is that my first boyfriend that I brought home for Christmas is now my fiance. But
How it circles.
oh, how it circles. But there was a break in between there. Okay.
True.
Just as a little friendly reminder. But it's just those questions that your family has, and I mean specifically for my family, it worked out because my I have an older sister. She already had to go through those steps, so.
Yeah.
So you know that, like, okay, my mom made it very obvious that, oh man, I have to pick a day. I don't get the whole week.
Yeah.
You know, like I either have to pick Boxing Day, Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve. I have to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew that Christmas Eve was my day, and I could
Yeah.
do the day of with his family,
Yeah.
type of thing. So
Yeah.
that groundwork was already laid for me, which was nice.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's the other stuff. Like, you know, the family traditions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, getting PJs on Christmas Eve. I know that's so common for many
Yeah,
families.
it is. I was never that, but yeah, I know a lot of people that did have that.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so if you bring a partner, and like, let's say you're young, like 17, 18,
Yeah.
do they get PJs too? Like, how does that work? Because,
Well-
like, typically you'd be spending the night
Well,
if they're giving you PJs.
yeah, so I remember the first Christmas I had with my ex, you know, up at their parents' house. You know, we were relatively new in a relationship at that time. So the parents didn't know me very well. But yeah, they got me PJs. I mean, Toronto Raptors PJs. I don't really care about the
Ooh,
Raptors,
nice.
but you know what I mean? Like, you got the PJs, right? Like, I mean, they don't live in Vancouver, so we were staying with them for a bit. So yeah, I guess we were staying overnight in that sense. But you know, like overall, it's just like, yeah, like it's. I guess if I was in the shoes of the parents, I would just continue the tradition just with one extra person.
Yeah, I feel like, so what if they're not a part of the every year tradition? Because you don't know if they're going to be around forever or not.
Exactly.
But for that year, like, why not just share your traditions? And I think that's what a lot of Christmas movies are about, too. Like, I watched the Ted Lasso Christmas episode, and it was about sharing traditions of the one character having all the soccer team that didn't want to go back home.
Right.
Went over to his house for Christmas, and they all shared their traditions.
Well, that's what it should be, right? Like, why change anything just because you have an extra person?
Yeah, well, I didn't realize that my family had some quirky traditions until you bring someone into that mix, right? like every single year we do the same Christmas story on Christmas Eve around 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And my older sister always tells it.
Yeah.
Same one every single year.
But that's the tradition, right?
And that's the tradition, exactly. But some people don't get that. Like when I tell people that, they're like, "Don't you change it up?" I'm like, why? We only do it once a year. It's not like I listen to that story more than once.
Well, exactly. Like, but that's
It's 5 minutes.
Christmas is all about their traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Like Christmas is very much like you don't change it up. Like nothing. Like this, it goes the same thing. Like every year. Like you know, like we talked about it last year. You know, like how Christmas Eve is the big family party and Christmas Day. Like it. If you're a traditionalist, like. And tradition is big to you, Christmas is like the holy grail of traditions because you don't change Christmas very often. Like, who does?
That's why moms and dads love it.
Because it's the same every year. You don't
they
have
get
to do
enforce
anything.
it.
Don't have to do anything different.
No, Nick, they get to enforce it.
They get to enforce their views on Christmas.
Like, they just get to look at you if you, like, decide you want to change something, but all they have to say is, but it's Christmas. And you're like, right.
Well, no, exactly, because, like, this year, like, my sister's going to her partner's family's place, but they're in Ontario, so they're not close. But my mom is being like, well,
what does this mean?
My mom's being like, oh no, it's got to be our house. She's a little, I guess, stuck in that way. But
no, my mom is exactly the same though. Like last year was really hard because we didn't do the morning us all being there opening presents.
No, right,
but
exactly.
Awful part is I liked it. Like, I want to do that again this year. I want Spencer and I to have our own morning and have our own Christmas morning together, then go see the family. Yeah. Well, but my mom, no.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, the only time the tradition changes is when you get older.
When someone brings in a new tradition.
Well, it's just, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Like, you gotta go, like... I totally agree with you. Wouldn't you want to spend Christmas morning, open the little gifts that you got for each other and then go to, Christmas afternoon dinner at your parents' house? Like, I don't know. That makes sense to me.
Well, my partner's family, like the first for me was that they have like a Christmas brunch. Like they go ham. Wow. Like my family does the same thing. We have like leftover ham or turkey and then we have cinnamon buns.
Ooh, I love cinnamon buns.
Yeah, awesome. And then now that we're older, mimosas.
Right.
Or the Baileys and coffee, whatever's your jam.
Yeah.
But they have Christmas brunch, and it's huge. It's like you bring in all these tables, all these different chairs, and like it all doesn't match. At my family, it's all a very classic matching. There's a table runner that is all the same.
Yep.
Right? If something was off, it's not Christmas.
Yeah.
But there, it's like everyone's just chipping in, and then they have a French toast casserole. Like that's.
What's a French toast casserole?
Right? I mean, essentially, it's just like a French toast that they put in the oven and heat up that way. But it's delicious, and I never would have had that type of tradition before. But now this Christmas, I expect to have it.
Well, sure. Like I get it. Like that's part of your traditions now. But everybody's got their own traditions, and at one point you're gonna have to change. And we're kind of getting at that age where we're gonna have to start making our own traditions.
Well, especially with like my sister and her family, they have their own family now. They're growing, and are they going to start having their own Christmas dinner? Are we going to start going over there eventually? Yeah. What is going to happen? Because as you grow, not everyone can also fit.
It's true. Just because you have a place to be doesn't mean you have the space to sit 20 people.
I mean, if you can, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That
if you
sounds
can,
like
great.
a fun time, but also very stressful for the person cooking.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much do you have to cook? That's one for me. I'd be like, look, we got the turkey or ham, whatever the meat of choice is. Y'all bring the rest. Somebody bring the potatoes. Somebody bring the vegetables. Bring an appetizer. Like, separate it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, otherwise it would be expensive,
It could
right?
be,
It'd be
yeah.
like a couple $1,000s if you're feeding
Easily.
over 20 people and one person's doing it all.
Yep,
Absolutely, it could be like $1,000.
easily. Oh, easily.
Yeah, especially if you put alcohol in there.
Yeah, potentially, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the holidays.
Yeah, I don't know. Nick, do you have any awkward first holiday encounters?
Awkward first holiday encounters. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, like the first time I was with the ex. Well, the thing is, right, like, they don't know you. They don't know what to, you know, they were really nice. Like, they gave me gifts. It was great. Like, no problems with it. But, you know, it's awkward, especially for them. It's awkward for me. You know, they give me something and they're like, I don't know if you like that, but.
But now it's something that, like, if you can joke about, right? It's
Well-
like, oh, remember that time that you got me a book and I've never read a book in my life?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, it was awkward for sure in that sense. But, you know, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. You know, like, I can get along with people. I don't get awkward too often. You know, like, I meet somebody new, whoop, we're already good friends. You know what I mean?
You're good to go. I mean, yeah, like you and Spencer have only met how many times, and it's like
We're
he kissed you on the head earlier today.
He did. We're bros. We are very much bros, and
Yeah.
that's it's.
I don't know. One of the Christmas things that I remember that actually my partner now was involved in was that my family loves to go skating on Christmas. Like, we used to rent out a skating rink and do that as our Christmas activity.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Well, this specific year, he got a knee surgery. And we were going to an ice skating rink and walking around Robson Street.
Yep.
This guy on crutches is like coming around everywhere in downtown Vancouver,
Yeah.
Robson Street.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But like he couldn't keep up, and like he didn't get to like go skating with us. So he's just
Totally.
like sitting on the bench saying hi.
That's awkward.
And it's just like, okay, I guess you're experiencing the tradition, but you're not at that point.
No, of course not. How can you really participate if you're not included in that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's very hard, and I mean, like, he was such a trooper. Like
Yeah.
I said, he
Good
didn't
for him.
care.
Yeah.
He was just happy about the food.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, that's all you need, really. I know. I'm trying to think of other ones. I remember one year my older sister brought a guy home. It was one of the first Christmases, and you know, everyone has their certain way of making the Christmas. I don't know, potatoes or cranberry sauce.
Yep.
Either you're the canned person,
Yeah.
or you're the homemade person.
Yeah, it's such a divisive topic. Specifically the cranberry sauce.
Specifically the cranberry sauce.
Like, people are like, half the people are like, no, gotta come out of the can, have the look of the can. It just has to.
the jelly.
And the
that slides
second
out.
somebody says, oh, I'm making it homemade, they're like, no, I'm not having that. And you're like, what? Like, I don't know why this is such a divisive topic.
I mean, I think it all comes down to the amount of sugar that's in it, because the canned stuff has so much
True,
sugar,
yeah.
which makes it taste delicious.
Right, but still.
Yeah. But specifically, that's exactly what happened, though, Nick. Right? Like,
Yeah.
we sat down to dinner,
Yeah.
and he looked at it and was like, is this canned? He, like, actually said that. And we all
No.
turned, and, like, I love my canned cranberry
Oh,
sauce.
God.
So I'm just like, I'm
Excuse
like
me?
10 years old, looking up at this man. I'm like, not man, he's like 16, but
Yeah.
I'm like, what's
wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? And my mom's like, she's a super accommodating person, where she's like, oh, I mean, I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to try to do something else? My mom doesn't have the makings to make cranberry sauce from scratch. You need to go out and have those. You need to buy those things.
Yeah,
you need
no, exactly.
cranberries.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I feel like your mom and my mom would be the same. Like, half would like the can, half would like homemade, she'd bring both.
Yeah, no, that's what happens now every year. So this is a different guy though. He knew this about our family beforehand. I think my sister learned from that experience and was like,
Yeah.
by the way.
By
So
the
he brought
way.
his own and was like, Merry Christmas. And it's like, oh yay, they brought food. So it's
That's
like
nice.
It's like a nice thing,
That's
right?
nice,
Because
yeah.
it's like, oh, like maybe he didn't know that we did cranberry sauce, so he brought his homemade.
Yep.
Love it. You
Yep.
look good at that point instead of
Totally.
offending someone's family about cranberry sauce.
Do you still hold a grudge about this, Kristen?
Well, I mean, like, come on, they're inviting you over for Christmas dinner. Just don't say anything at all. Just don't take it. Oh, I don't eat cranberry sauce. You don't have to mention what it is. If you're coming back
Wow.
next year, yeah, maybe mention it. But you don't know how long you're sticking around at that point.
Fair. I just love how so you're like, yes, has to happen.
It's the only way.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah, so now my family is very accommodating. We have mashed potatoes from scratch. We've evolved. It used to be the powdered form,
That's
which
good.
I also don't blame my family for doing. Like, when you're a young family
Yeah.
too, and you have 3 kids, like, you're just gonna do what the kids like.
No, totally.
Right?
100%.
And yeah, we didn't have taste back then.
Yeah.
Like a 4 or 5-year-old, like if they eat the food that you give them, you're
Yeah.
stoked.
Yeah, exactly. You're just 100% pumped.
Yeah, so that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah. It's just you're gonna get put into new things, especially this time of year. You gotta kind of take it and run and try to fit in. It's hard, for sure, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a family to go to, though. Like, I feel very fortunate that I'm almost overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, there's been years where I've had to do 2 dinners in one day. Like that movie, what is it,
Yeah.
4 Christmases?
yeah, 4 Christmases.
and
yeah.
in 2
That's
days,
a good movie
they do
too,
4
actually.
Christmases.
That's a good one. But well, that's hard, and like I get it though. Like I've never been in that scenario, but there was a couple of years ago. You remember Dara from
Oh,
Street
yeah.
Team? Yeah. Like,
Our listener.
yeah, the one guy in Ireland. Yeah, my guy. Like he was here visiting family or not visiting family. He was away from family, and he's from Ireland, right? But he couldn't go home for the holidays. He thought he was gonna have his roommate, but his roommate was like, "No, I'm gonna go."
Aw.
So he was left like shit. And I was like, before I even knew, like, I knew my mom would say yes, but I was like, I was just like, hey, if you wanna come to my place, come for dinner. My ex will be there. We were obviously dating at the
I was
time.
going to say, she wasn't your ex at the
No,
time.
right, at the time.
If she
I
came
don't
now-
want to say her name. So
Yeah, but if she came now, then that'd be weird.
yeah, so like, she was gonna be there, and then I was like, hey, just really, it's no problem. Just come on down, have some dinner, we'll hang out, we'll do some stuff. And he came and he had a good time. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't know Dara spent Christmas with you.
yeah, he came over for Christmas dinner.
Oh, that's so cute.
I just like look. I know you'd do the same thing if you knew you had a friend who the fam couldn't go back to family. Especially this year with all everything that's happening, might not be able to go to the interior or something like that. Like people will open their doors. Like people are really generous around this time of year. Like it's kind of crazy how nice people can get around this time, and it's just the time of year. And I know you would do it, and I plenty of people would do it. And just you just open your door. Like what's an extra 1 or 2 seats at a table, right, for Christmas dinner? Like you'll feel so much better letting them know that they have a spot for dinner
Yeah.
on Christmas Day than not having them there. Like
Well-
I'd feel bad not inviting them.
It's one of those things too that I feel like if you're the person on the receiving end, you might feel like, oh my god, like,
Totally.
I don't know.
Totally get that.
Just do it. Just
Yeah.
go. You don't have to stay for the full time. And see how it goes. You get a nice dinner out of it. You say thank you. Maybe bring some of your traditions over.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, and of course, nobody is gonna pressure you to come to their Christmas dinner. They're gonna be like, "Hey, doors open. Come if you want to." Because yeah, I totally get it. Like, how awkward would that be? Going with people you've never met before. You might know one person at the place, and then you have to go have dinner with these people. Like, God, that's pretty awkward, I'd say. But I think Chris is right. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have fun. You might get a few questions like, oh, where are you from? Why are you here? Blah 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 blah. Depending on who your parents are. But like it's still. I think overall you'll look back at that Christmas year and you'd be like, that was so nice of people. Bring up some beer, bring a bottle of wine, something like that. Like
Yeah, I think it's a very like it's in good taste to bring something. You don't have to bring
totally.
an expensive bottle of wine.
No,
or
we're
anything.
not asking
You could
you.
go get an $8 one.
Exactly.
As long as it's not Yellowtail, you're fine.
Wow. Okay. Something about Yellowtail.
Okay,
but
we all know how much Yellowtail costs. There's so
Yeah.
many brand ones that you might not like. If you gave me a bottle of wine and you went into the liquor store and you didn't go get Yellowtail,
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Ooh, how much did they spend?"
Yeah.
Right? Unless you got Oyster Bay, I know how much that cost because I get it all the
Couldn't tell
time.
you how much that costs, but yeah, I get that. I get that for sure. That's
Yeah, no, I'm just very fortunate, and seeing all these people coming out here today, just to partake in the Christmas spirit. Everyone's
Festivities.
been very lovely, and they're donating. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna check in on our donations, but they seem to have left our table.
I think Spencer went to go dig more people.
Okay. Side note, though. Our street teamer is way more aggressive at getting donations than Nick and I.
Yeah, she's not kidding.
No.
We're the people like, oh, donate if you can. It's okay, but you know.
Yeah,
if
they're
you
like,
can.
oh, is it donation to get in? We're like,
Well, no.
no, but yes.
we recommend it. But like, he's just like, hey, donate. And they're like, is it mandatory? Yes, even if it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or, oh, how much? Well, how much you got?
Yeah, exactly.
The
Like,
ATM's over there.
he does good work, and it's for a good cause. So, you know, it's good. We're doing good things.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I'm trying to think what else for Christmas-related activities that we could both do or have done.
Well, I mean, like you kind of mentioned the skating rink. I think that's a really cute one.
Have you not spent a Christmas at home? Like, I know usually you have that Christmas party that you go to, but like Christmas Day, is that always at your house?
Yeah, for every year so far of my life, I've always been at. Well,
Well,
okay, there might have been one when I was younger, but I was with my family. Like we went over to somebody's house for Christmas dinner, like really good, like she was my best friend at the time, kind of thing. Like when we were younger.
oh, so like
that
really good family friends.
Yeah. So like,
Wasn't just your best friend; it
no,
was the whole
yeah,
family.
the whole
stuff.
family knew each other, kind of like. So we went to their like they lived like a block away. So I think that was the only time. I think we went there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever been invited anywhere else on Christmas Day. Like, I've been invited like Boxing Day to like things,
Yeah.
like from really good friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I always have like my Christmas traditions with my friends. Usually we go and do something, a Christmas activity. Like last weekend, we did our gingerbread house building.
Oh yeah.
We did it last year too on the exact same day. It's our
Cute.
tradition.
Yeah.
We just do it. We watch some Christmas movies, have a
Yeah.
girl night.
Yeah.
Which was really well needed, and I
Totally.
definitely recommend if you can squeeze it in during this busy time, just take
do
that
it.
time for
Just do it.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like with my other friends, it's just really hard this year because I feel like every weekend is something. Because last year was nothing,
Yeah, you couldn't do
right?
anything.
So now it's jam packed with a Christmas party on a weekday, then going down to an event on the weekend, and then. Like everyone, for me personally, is saying that you need to start looking at wedding dresses. Like you should have that figured out by the new year. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Hold on.
I saw a warning sign on the
Oh,
camera.
Battery's
but
probably gonna die.
yeah. Okay. I mean, we only have a little bit longer to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Can always charge it too and come back.
Well,
No, but I was like, oh, I guess I better look at that. So I was looking at appointments,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, there's like really inconvenient timing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I would like to do it when I'm already downtown type
Yeah,
of
for
thing,
sure.
or like I'm already in that direction. And in all honesty, like I'm very, like I know I sound like being a drag, like I should be excited, but it's one of those things that's like, oh, like I know it's gonna be a lot for me just
Yeah.
because like dresses in general have always been really hard for
Yeah,
me. So
for
that's
sure.
why I'm kind of like, oh God,
Yep.
okay, gotta do this. It's a real thing now.
that's a future Krista problem.
Yeah, but and then like I'm going to a play.
Wow.
It's the Dolly Parton Christmas Carol.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I was like, oh, like is that a community thing? No, it's at the Stanley, and like the tickets were not cheap.
Wow. Fancy.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a lot of fun, and there's definitely a lot more community events going on. For this one specifically, it's also going on again tomorrow.
Wow.
So we'll be here again tomorrow.
Not that you'll see this by then.
I mean, we'll get a piece of it up. We'll get a little teaser.
Maybe we'll get a teaser up.
Maybe we'll get a little
tonight.
teaser up.
Who knows? But
We'll try our best.
we'll do great. We'll do great things. Anyway,
We're back with our favorite segment.
the best segment that we have.
Is it though?
I don't know. I like both.
This is Questions of the Week.
Question of the week. You ask, we answer. We went to the public today to ask these questions.
Yeah, and they asked us some hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
We had questions like, Nick, who came up with the songs I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus and Santa Got Ran Over by a Reindeer?
I mean, I guess it's a fun take on a song because, Christmas songs are pretty standard through all these years.
I know, but I'm totally on this person's side. Like, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Who has ever thought of Santa Claus in that way? Ever.
Yeah, I agree. It's just no sense. No sense.
I just don't think that's a regular person's fantasy, is fantasizing about Santa Claus kissing someone.
Yeah, I think it's a little weird. I don't know who came up with those songs. But
It's a big man, jolly, very kid-friendly. So, I don't know. I don't appreciate that song.
Yeah.
The Santa Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. Very realistic. That's something that could happen.
I guess it's true.
Is there a movie based on that?
Santa got run over by a reindeer. They're probably, maybe.
I'm sure there
I mean,
is.
it might be like a part of a movie, but the movie's not about that.
I'm sure there's like a cartoon where it happens, where Santa can't deliver presents because this happens, and a little scrappy upcomer ends up having to deliver the presents that day. Or the reindeer takes over.
Isn't that kind of like the Santa Claus? Like Tim Allen kills Santa, and then he becomes Santa?
Yeah, that's like the tradition.
Yeah.
Which is a very dark tradition.
Just a bit. Just a bit. Yep.
You physically have to kill Santa
You
Claus.
have to literally kill Santa to become Santa.
I'm having I'm questioning these movies and songs.
Yeah.
now.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay, and then our next question was, which I think was my favorite question, was, what's the podcast about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we are not the biggest podcast in the world. We've had a few questions. A lot of people seemed intrigued. Even one person looked at our hoodies and were like, the hell does discontinued gravy mean? And then now we've got, what is it about? Well, it's a podcast about being in your mid-20s.
And just living life and the complications that come with it. More specifically for Nick and I, since certain things that we live through is like relationships, jobs, the complications of having a midlife crisis, basically, or a quarter life crisis.
Yep, we're just helping you through by listening to our stories, and maybe you feel the same way. Like, oh man, I felt that before.
And we like to throw a little bit of a little comedy in there. We're a little bit more lighthearted, I would say.
Yeah, I know. We're definitely like to keep it fun and exciting. No real seriousness over here.
But we'll always take suggestions on what people want to hear. We're very open for that.
Yep. Tell us what you want. We'll do it. Trust.
Love it. And Nick, what was the last question?
What is too much for a candle? Like, how much is too much for a candle?
How much is too much for a candle? Ooh.
I feel like you know more than I do about candle pricing.
Okay, well, I gotta say right now, there's some really great vendors inside for candles. Go check them out. I want to say there's 3 different vendors that are doing candles. They all have their different uniqueness, whether they're handmade, whether they're the wood wick. Yeah, a little bit more fancy.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, if you have a candle lover in your life, definitely come down to this market. There's some great vendors. But how much is too much for a candle? I mean, I feel like I know people who have spent $50 on an anthropology candle. I just have.
$50 on a candle? Bro, like 5 is too much.
Okay, but you have to realize this candle's going to last a long time. They're not going to be able to burn through it in a night.
I guess. I don't know.
Right? Because if you get a candle from Bath & Body Works, yeah, it's nice, but it maybe lasts like 2 weeks, and then you have to get a new one. Those candles from Bath & Body Works, $15.
I guess.
Right? So I feel like anything over 50 is just outrageous, but it has to be unique. There has to be some sort of catch. Like it's gonna last a very long time.
Yeah, I feel like anything like $20 has to be like a cap here, like that. Like,
You haven't bought very many candles in your life, have
I
you,
don't.
Nick?
No. Why would I? I'm not gonna spend the moon on a freaking candle. Like Jesus. No.
Well, you could make your own business.
Do I look like somebody that would make candles for a living, Krista?
I mean, you have a lot of hobbies, Nick. I don't know.
Candle making is not one.
Maybe it's a secret skill that you don't even know
I
about.
don't even know that I have.
I actually have another question for you, Nick.
Uh-oh.
And I feel like he'll be better equipped to answer this tomorrow because we have some fun things happening tomorrow when we're recording.
True.
Who is your favorite vendor that you've seen so far?
Discontinued Gravy, obviously, is the best vendor here.
Okay, that is extremely biased, my friend.
Okay, if I'm not being biased, that toffee place, the Two Brothers Toffee, they were pretty cool.
Ooh, yes. You had one of their samples, didn't you?
Yeah, and they also shouted us out on Instagram, so.
Boop, 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 boop.
So I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, he'll quickly become our favorite that way.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah. My favorite, I would have to say, is the vendor that's actually right behind us that you can maybe see in this window. Is she's like hand knits toys, and they're adorable. She can basically do a request too, so I might get her to do my bunny.
Of course.
Yes, they're definitely a little bit more expensive, but very good quality,
Yeah.
and you know someone's put a lot of time and effort, so support local, get your butts down here. These are some great vendors.
That's true. Get on down if it's still open by the time you see this.
And then I don't think we can actually do recommendations this week.
We could just do our normal recommendations.
Okay, recommendations of the week.
Recommend we do things, see things, answer things, tell you what to do.
Okay, so besides the obvious of come down and say hi.
Yeah.
Again, it's a free event, so
Yep.
you can't go wrong. You just need to have a mask and your vaccine card.
Vaccine passport and a mask and an ID. That's all you need to come in.
Yeah, so very simple and a great day. I've walked through it twice now, and also the skating rink, amazing.
Yep.
Besides that, though, my recommendation would probably be to Nick. Do you want to go?
She doesn't know. I'd say my recommendation is look at a problem like take my truck for example. Like you could easily just be like, no, I'm going to take it to the mechanic. And if you don't trust yourself, I totally get it. But you know what? Look it up. See if you can do it. Because, I mean, like I said, changing an alternator in a 2007 Ford Ranger is really freaking easy. It's plug and play. So
plug and play, baby.
So honestly, I'd say look at something. If you feel like you can't do it, at least look to see if you can't do it. I know some people aren't handy, and I know nothing about cars. I'm not a mechanic. I know nothing about anything in that truck, but I was able to do it. So
yeah.
Look at something. If you can't do it, see if you can. Just chance yourself. You never know.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good recommendation, Nick.
It is a good recommendation, Krista.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll have to go now.
Yeah, you do.
My recommendation is try to go and volunteer. Nick and I aren't volunteering our time. We're a vendor. We're getting something out of being here.
Yeah.
For our podcast specifically.
Yes.
But I honestly would volunteer at this event. Like we've been helping out where we can and very simple things, honestly the bare minimum of what Nick and I could do, but it's the season of giving. Go out, see what you can do. All these communities do need help doing something, whether it's a fun event or doing donations and so on. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, totally. Get out and give back to your community. It's a really good thing. Even if you do it once a year, it still helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so this is Discontinued Gravy live for the first time ever. We're on location. The first time you and I are recording this podcast right next to each other. So what a world we're living in anyway. But yeah, we will still be back at it again next week.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Woo!
Peace.